Anybody else ever wonder what's the deal with Shaytan's backstory? Listen, I'm not saying we should be interested in the devil, but I'm just saying it's kind of interesting. The Quran says that iblees, the Shaytan, was present when Adam was created. Correct me if I'm wrong, this means he was created before Adam, and he was obviously given the privilege of being near Allah. Isn't nearness to Allah the ultimate reward? So it seems Iblis, the Shaitan, was given a pretty high place until his defiant outburst when he refused the command of Allah to prostrate to Adam. You know, this sounds a lot like human behavior when a complex is touched. Stay with me. Iblis is said to be a jinn, right? And jinns have free will just like humans. So what's to say that they don't have similar psyches to humans as well? A complex is an emotionally charged group of ideas in the human psyche which splits off into the unconscious when it is suppressed. Here's an example. Imagine a young woman who grew up with a father who spent long hours working and was rarely home. This absence of her father's, she perceived it as abandonment and rejection. As she grows into a woman, she avoids and suppresses this group of emotionally charged ideas of her feeling rejected and abandoned. So this abandonment complex splits off into the unconscious. This splitting off into the unconscious is a well-known tendency that has been verified in psychology. But here's the important part. That island of emotions, that complex, has a mind of its own and can come back into consciousness and take over the control. Now let's say as an adult, this woman has a best friend who suddenly stops answering her messages for a little while. So she starts to feel very anxious and angry and triggered. This event in her life has touched her abandonment complex. When the complex is touched, it seizes the person's ego and she starts completely saying and doing inappropriate things because her abandonment complex has hijacked her ego. If I was psychologically analyzing the Shaitan, I know that's a weird way to put it, but if I was, then I would say that when he was told to prostrate to Adam, an inferiority complex was touched, which caused him to disobey his creator. The lesson from modern day psychology here is that instead of the natural tendency to suppress and avoid the difficult things that have happened to you or the touchy parts of your ego, it's super important to face them and work on them so they don't split off into the unconscious and only come back to bite you. The point is to bridge the gap between consciousness and the unconscious.